Hello, everyone. This is Suzanne at The Gospel Truth. Welcome back. I am so glad that you decided to tune back in. And we are reading the book called The Master Potter by Jill Austin. This is book number 1. And book number 2 is Master Potter and the Mountain of Fire. This is an allegory. An allegory is let's look it up again. The power of an allegory is its ability to create vivid pictures in the imagination that releases unexpected insights. And what we saw, the picture that we saw yesterday, was Forsaken. She had a boyfriend that was very mean to her, beat her up, and she ended up running away into the potter's field. The potter's field is someplace, it's a garbage dump. Everything that goes there usually is useless, and there's no friends in the potter's field. And she met up with another person that was supposed to be her friend, and Turncoat was his name, and they had a very nasty exchange of words. And now, Forsaken, when we last stopped, she was still in a potter's field. I think all of us can relate to that in some way, where before we came to Christ, we were dirty, broken vessels. Not at all what the Lord intended for us. All right, we're going to get started right away. We are on chapter 4, The Looking Glass. Frightened at the prospect of spending the night in the open field, Forsaken finds a discarded wagon wheel and slumps down next to it, vowing to stay awake. But in seconds, she falls into an agitated sleep. The great angel, Valiant, her unseen guardian, moves silently through the night, stopping by her side. He tenderly soothes her wet, matted hair and imparts strength to her fragile frame. Undetected, he recedes back into the shadows, casting a gentle amber glow into the darkness. He is ever aware of his orders concerning her and prays again to the Father on her behalf. Moaning in her sleep, Forsaken jerks suddenly and awakes. She pulls herself up with her hands and braces her back uncomfortably against the wheel. Running her swollen tongue over her teeth, she is aware that her bruised, foul-tasting mouth burns with yesterday's bitter whiskey, cigarettes, vomit, and dried blood. She's not in a very good place at all, is she? Picking up the handle of an old, shattered hand mirror lying beside her, she stares at herself in the remaining fragments. Tears well in the corner of her eyes and stream down her cheeks as she studies her distorted and cracked reflection illuminated in the dim moonlight. Have you ever really taken a good look at yourself in a mirror? Were there times that you did not like what you saw and you wondered, how did I get here? She barely recognizes the woman looking back at her. Brown hair that once looked like soft silk is wildly matted with thick mud and dried blood. Dark, beautiful brown eyes that once had caught the attention of every man in her path, now burned with the red soreness of alcoholism, sleeplessness, and endless convulsive crying. Worst of all is the dull deadness that stares back at her from eyes that once sparkled with bright hope. Her empty heart burns with fear, disgust, and screaming need. She runs her dirty hand over her once soft and beautiful face, now deeply lined. Each line carries an ugly memory of the hardship of abuse and age. Her youth is squandered, forever lost. Have you ever done things in your youth that you regret terribly even to this day, though you're saved? You have a deep sadness in a part of your heart that will never go away. You know you're forgiven, and you're so thankful for that, but you're still so ashamed of, how could I have done that? How did I get there? I vowed as a little girl that I'd never be like my dad. How did I turn out like this? I just want to fit in with the crowd at Madam's. I never knew that the first little drink would lead me here. first little drink, the first little touch of fentanyl, and you're hooked. Satan comes at us in small little bites. He doesn't throw it all at us at once. He's very sneaky. And we have to be on guard. We have to put on that full armor of God and be fully equipped to fend off the fiery darts of Satan. A look into the past. Her eyes are drawn back to the mirror. Dim figures emerge and scenes from her life appear like a haunting stage drama. The luxurious dining room of Madam's Inn comes into focus, along with the clinking of fine china and crystal goblets. Soft conversation and laughter fill the elegant, candlelit room. Forsaken is wearing a beautiful, rose-colored gown of the finest European silk trimmed with ivory lace. The plunging neckline and skin-tight fit show off her hourglass figure. Her long skirt sways gracefully with each elegant step as she walks toward a grand piano to make her singing debut. Trembling with nervous energy, she scans the many faces in the dining room until she finds Madam's reassuring nod. Violins and cellos join with the piano as her lovely alto voice stirs romance into the softly lit room. She is exhilarated by the cheering crowd's standing ovation. Sweet acceptance washes like waves over her lonely soul. As she looks into the exuberant crowd, she vows that she will do whatever it takes to keep this wonderful feeling alive. She curtsies, throws a kiss to the crowd, and leaves the stage. This is what I've been searching for all my life. Acceptance, being told she's pretty, she's lovely, having men look at her and whistle and want her and desire her. That's a big high for a person. It's also the beginning of a lot of downfalls. A wealthy gentleman presents her with a single red rose. Here it comes. Putting his arm processively around her tiny waist, the handsome escort takes her to his private dining table. Pulling her chair out, he kisses the back of her neck, sending a rush of adrenaline through her quivering heart. Champagne bubbles into crystal goblets as the room toasts her successful debut. Still lost in the sweet memory of that night so long ago, Forsaken continues staring into the mirror shards and sees spirits appearing around their table, spirits she never knew were there. She watches in spellbound horror as a black spirit of alcohol addiction buries his deep talons deep in her tender heart. The scene fades into a smoky haze, and Forsaken snaps back into her wretched reality. She wipes the tears from her red, swollen eyes. That's where it all started. He was the first of many men who said they loved me, only to throw me away when someone else sparked their interest. All I could do was drink the pain away. Years of memories rush into her brain like a flood of pain. The Forsaken is no longer able to drown with alcohol. She begins to see the harsh reality. Even those she had previously thought of no consequence now have rejected her. She finds herself sitting through a dark abyss of hopelessness and black despair. There's that rock bottom. Some people, when they hit rock bottom, they start looking upward. They change their life. They turn to Jesus. Other people just go into deeper despair, into suicide, into deeper drinking, deeper drug abuse until it ends their life. And that's so sad. So now we know about Forsaken's past, how she got to where she is right now. And it's a sad, sad story. One of millions. Chapter 5. From riches to rags. Shifting her weight to ease the pain in her side, Forsaken feels a hard object under her hand, half buried in the rubbish. Excuse me? My allergies seem to be flaring up a little bit today. Digging it out, she uncovers an old pocket watch with a shattered crystal. The one remaining hand points ominously to midnight. Painful memories of another gold watch flood her mind. It was the night Mayor Lecherous approached her. Suddenly, she's in the upstairs hallway of Madam's. coming out of her bedroom and finds him outside her door. Using his huge body, he blocks her escape and pushes her back inside. Forsaken, I've watched you with all those other men, and I've been patient. Now it's time for me. His sexual appetites, inflamed by spirits of lust and perversion, are excited beyond his control. I can give you more than those other men. I'm very wealthy. Forsaken and I know how to treat a class act like you. Forsaken and I know how to treat a class act like you. You and I, we like the same things. Money and influence, the beautiful things. I can give you all these if you give me what I want. It was true. She did love all those things, and for just a moment she entertained the thought of allowing him to provide them. Nevertheless, in the end, his repulsiveness was too great. Get out of here. I don't care if you're the mayor. She shoves her struggling body onto the bed, crushing her beneath his huge hulk. Unsuccessfully, he drops his grossly fat, sweaty face to hers in an attempt to deliver a slobbery kiss. His breath reeks of old cigarettes and gin. Panic overwhelms Forsaken, and she raises her knee and pushes with all her strength. At the same time, she bites down on his ear as hard as she can, wrestling free from his unwelcome advances. She rolls out from under him as he howls in pain. Get away from me! Not only are you repulsive, you're married. Now, to me it seems, she's saying, get away from me, you're married, when she's been with a lot of other men. Her morals and values aren't much better. And when you tempt men, when you invite men that you are open, that you are there for sex and a good time, they're going to come at you full force, aren't they? Holding his bleeding ear, he shouts, when did you develop a conscience? You'll never have me. You disgust me. How dare you come into my room like this? I'm telling Madam. Spying his treasured pocket watch on the bed, she hurls it at him, barely missing his head. The crystal shatters against her mahogany dresser. You're nothing but a whore. I'll destroy you and your reputation. No one treats me like this and gets away with it. Madam won't save your skin this time. Your days are numbered. Mark my words. Falling into enemies' hands. Sitting in the foul-smelling garbage and broken pottery shards of the potter's field, Forsaken numbly clutches the broken mirror and pocket watch, heart-breaking symbols of her painful past. I hate him. He destroyed my life. Now here's a little bit of blaming someone else for the situation you allowed yourself to be in the first place. Madame's distraught face appears before Forsaken. Her normally beautiful eyes are swollen from tears. My ruby and diamond brooch is gone. My late husband gave it to me on our wedding day. It was in his family for generations, and it's irreplaceable. Oh, Madam, please don't cry. Forsaken rushes to comfort her. Taking a delicately embroidered handkerchief from her bosom, she dabs Madame's streaking, coal-black mascara that is running down her jowls. The chief of police has his men combing every inch of the inn. I'm sure they'll find it. Maybe you just misplaced it. Madame's pencil-thin red mouth forms into a hateful grimace. No, I wouldn't leave something that valuable lying around. It was stolen. Whoever took it will pay dearly. I'll see to that. She motions abruptly with her hand, dropping hot ashes from her ever-present mother-of-pearl cigarette holder. Straightening up to her full height, she throws back the black feathered boa over her shoulder, covering multiple strands of pearls that adorn her thick neck. Her elegant silk dress strains to contain her ample bosom. Dressed like a high society but barking orders like a sergeant, she commands the attention of all her employees as they scurry in and out, frantically searching for the lost jewelry. Tears fall down Forsaken's cheek. Oh, Madam, is there anything I can do to help? The dinner guests are arriving. I need your beautiful voice to entertain my customers. As Forsaken is finishing the evening's final musical number, the chief of police bursts through the front French doors leading to the dining room with a distraught Madame at his side. We found Madame's priceless brooch, he announces. Pointing an accusing finger at Forsaken, he yells, There's the thief. We found the jewels in her bedroom hidden under the mattress. It's the biggest scandal we've had in Comfort Cove since the feel-good saloon watered down its whiskey. For a few seconds, stunned silence reigns. then gives way to an eruption of frenzied voices. All eyes turn to Forsaken. She scans the room, and familiar faces that just a few minutes ago were smiling adoringly at her are now hostile and suspicious. The dignified pastor Compromise from the Country Club Church puts down his brandy, stands to his feet, clears his deep voice, and incredulously announces, "This is outrageous. After everything Madam's done for you, how could you betray her generosity? Forsaken." Now, Pastor Compromise, he's in a bar smoking. He is compromising his values, big time, his morals. He turns back to his dining companion and says, "Not only is she a thief, she's also a liar. I had my doubts about Madam taking her in. I've never seen anything good come from being charitable." Wow. Forsaken elbows her way through the erupting crowd and falls on her knees sobbing, throwing her arms around Madam's ample hips as she sobs. "Don't believe him. I didn't do it. I would never hurt you. You've been like a mother to me." Mayor Letcherus, here he is. Yellow teeth appear through his cigar-stained lips as he smiles coldly. He turns back to face the other city officials crowded around his reserved table near the French doors. Shifting his cumbersome frame, he tells them, "I warned Madam about taking in riffraff off the docks. They can't be trusted." Madam's heart, pierced with the razor-sharp pain of betrayal, lashes out. "Forsaken, how could you? I rescued you like a sniveling dog off the wharf and turned you into a classy lady who had to fight off suitors. You were like the daughter I never had. This is how you repay me? You've shown your true colors. I thought I changed you, but even in the most elegant gown, you're still a low-life whore." The chief of police jerks her roughly to her feet. "Madam will take care of her, and she'll never trouble you or your patrons again. We have the evidence to put her away for a long time." Sickened by false accusations against her, she pleads, "Madam, don't let them take me. I don't know how it got there. I just know I didn't do it." Frantically, Forsaken's terrified eyes search a room for help. When she sees the mayor stroking his many-layered chin and mocking her with his gloating expression, she realizes he made his threats come true. Some people, they don't get what they want, they will ruin you. And the mayor definitely is ruining her. Now, granted, she chose to be where she was at, doing what she did among these people, dealing with all types of men. And when a man is scorned, he will come back with some type of vengeance. And it won't be pretty. So, now Forsaken, she's been framed. And when we next pick up, we're going to continue how Forsaken is defending herself. And when it's a person high in power and they accuse you of something and they're out to get you, it doesn't end well. And to put ourselves in that type of situation is never good. It's never a good place to be. When I was younger, I found myself in situations that could have been very harmful for me. And I can relate to Forsaken in many ways. And now she's broken, bruised, battered, and rejected. But she's still going to fight. She's still going to fight. And we're going to find that as the story progresses. She is a fighter. She wants better. She's going to have to discover how to become better. And I hope you are finding this allegory to be very powerful allegory. Maybe it hits home for some of you. In various ways, we've all fallen short. And the best day of our lives is when we turned our life over to Jesus and we became Christians. And we're not looking back. Yeah, the memories are there, but we don't allow them to haunt us. We don't allow them to rule our lives. We have been washed clean by the blood of the Lamb. And don't look back. I'm not going that way. All right, I hope you've enjoyed today's reading. Lord willing, tomorrow I'll be back on again. We will read I've Been Framed, Taking a Dark Path. and maybe antagonists. All right. Well, Ron and I have an appointment at 2 o'clock at Miracle Ear where he got his hearing aids. He has to go once every 2 or 3 months just to get them checked and cleaned. Tomorrow, we have physical therapy. Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we have to be in Farmington Hills, which is like an hour away from here. Hopefully to finish up with his mouth. He's still got a sore spot, but the dentist thinks once he cuts that away, restitches it, puts the snap in, and puts the bottom denture in, that hopefully that will do it. So we're really praying for that. And we've got a busy couple of weeks coming up, but it's all good. I am going to go to the appointment. We get back, I'm going to hop on my knitting machine hopefully today and whip out another ear warmer. If you didn't tune in yesterday, on Friday I'm going to announce a giveaway, and I am going to be giving away I'll give you a choice between a hat or an ear warmer, and preferably what colors you would like it in. If I have the colors, I will certainly try to accommodate that. I'm very excited about the giveaway. It'll take me I'm going to give myself a week to get it done and get it to you. So that will be very exciting for us. All right, you take care. You have a blessed day in the Lord. Lord willing, I will be back on tomorrow, and we will continue with the Master Potter.